Welcome to the Irish School of Motoring's Guide to Passing the Driving Test. Every year, more than 50% of applicants fail the driving test first time, and in most cases, failure can be avoided with the correct preparation. This DVD will help you to pass your driving test while making you a safer driver for life. We'll show you a step-by-step guide of what the tester is looking for and a demonstration of how the driving test should be done. The driving test is broken down into two stages: the theory part, where you'll be expected to know the rules of the road, and the practical part, which of course is the driving. And as part of your practical test, you'll also need to demonstrate the vehicle check. So let's start off by taking a look at these.
When you've completed the theory part of the test, you're going to direct the tester over to the car, where first of all they're going to ask you to pop the bonnet. Now, on different cars they do vary on where obviously the release mechanism is for the bonnet. On this car, on the Opel Corsa, it's just here on the left. So you need to go through this with your instructor and find out where the release mechanism is. After lifting the bonnet, the tester is going to ask you to point out some of the basic engine parts. First one we're going to look at here is where to put the oil in. Okay, next one that we're going to look at is the dipstick. This is used for checking the oil. Sometimes the tester may ask you how would you check the oil. Very simply done by taking out the dipstick, wiping it, putting it back in, taking it back out again, and there should be a level mark at the bottom which the oil line should be between. Next over is the coolant. Sometimes you may be asked, how do you know how much coolant to put into the engine? It's just signalled there at the side by a minimum and a maximum. Beside this here we have the windscreen wiper water. Make sure that's full before you go into the test. Next over is the brake fluid. This is always signalled by this symbol here. And once again there's a minimum maximum just on the side there. So if the tester ever asks you how would you know how much to put into the engine, just basically it's signalled by fill it up to the max. On some cars they will have power steering, okay? Now on this particular engine, okay, it's electric power steering. So just once again, go through this with your instructor and find out all the various engine parts. Obviously they vary on different cars where they are, okay? After the engine checks, the tester is going to ask you to sit in the car, where they then will check that the car is roadworthy. The first thing that they're going to be checking is that all your discs are displayed and in date. So make sure that you have an insurance disc, that it's in date also. Make sure that you have a tax disc, that it's in date. And also that you have, if the car is more than 4 years old, you are going to have to display a current NCT disc. If any of these aren't in order, the test will not be conducted. After this, they're going to check that the L plates are shown in the car. The correct positions for the L plates are the top right hand corner of the front window, and the corresponding L plate should be on the top right of the back window. Then the tester is going to check that your brake lights and indicators are both working. So, okay. It can also be asked in the test, how would you check the correct tyre depth? By looking in at the tyre there, at the thread there, you'll see a little nodge there. They're positioned all the way around the tyre in the main thread here. The minimum tyre depth is 1.6 millimetres, and how you know if you need new tyres is if the tyre wears down and if it's level with that little lump in there, then you're going to need new tyres. So it is something that you can check yourself. It's also important that you check that on your car that the head restraints are in place for both the passenger, being the tester, and for yourself as the driver. When the tester finally sits in the car with you, they're going to be checking your knowledge of the secondary controls. This is something that, even though you know where the controls are, sometimes the way they phrase it may throw you slightly, so it's important to go through this with your instructor. First thing we're going to look at here is to demist the back window. Next on is how to demist the front window. You should turn the dial to this one here, use the fan, and turn up the heat as well. Side lights are the first one here. Dip lights are the second one. To adjust the dip lights in the car here are just down below here. The fog lights are just beside it here. Headlights are pushed this forward. The hazard lights are signalled by this red triangle always. Back windscreen wiper, I just push this forward. Water for the back windscreen, push it forward and hold it. Front windscreen wiper is 3 levels, 1, 2, 3 up. And water for the front is pull it towards you. When the tester's asking you these, you don't actually need to put them all on. Once you've demonstrated that you know where they are, the tester will be happy with this. So when driving along a straight road, first of all you've got to keep concentrating on your position. So there's a cycle track to my left there, so I obviously have to stay out of that, but I will be staying over close to it. It's important for your road position to keep left on straight and on bend. So as I come around this bend, just for basically keeping left. In normal driving, always keep to the left lane where possible. Obviously if there's a bus lane or any obstructions, you'll be forced into the right lane, but generally you'll be staying in the left lane unless you're either turning right or overtaking. So when you're driving behind a vehicle, it's important to follow the 2-second rule. This means you pick a point that they pass, count to 2, and then we should pass the same point. If the tester at any point feels that you're driving a little bit too close to the car in front, they're not going to be happy, they're not going to be feeling safe. So it's important really just to keep a very safe distance from the vehicle in front. Now I'm approaching a junction, I'm going to go straight on, so as always, unless the road dictates otherwise, you will opt for the left lane. So I'm just easing off, gently off the accelerator. Have a little look around the junction, nobody there, check my mirrors again, and off we go. Maintaining good position to the left, not too far into the left, but just staying reasonably left, about a metre or so from the left. Choosing the correct lane generally will be the left lane, unless the road dictates otherwise. Now I'm in the left lane here, but as I look up there's a turn left only, so I've got to actually just change lanes and move gradually into the right lane and then cancel the indicator.
There are 2 variations for making a right-hand turn at a junction. The first and safest is called the offside to offside position. This is where 2 vehicles coming from opposite directions and both wanting to make a right-hand turn pass each other in the centre of the road, driver side to driver side. The advantage of this method is that there is maximum visibility of oncoming traffic. The second variation, and probably the most common, is the near side to near side method. This is used mainly in a situation such as a narrow junction. The vehicles meet in the centre of the road, but this time they pass each other passenger side to passenger side. The main disadvantage in this method is that there is limited visibility.
Check my mirror before I move off. As I'm approaching this junction here now, I've got to watch out for the oncoming cars, okay? I'm going to move up slightly, okay? Now that car has opted to do the near side to near side, which is passenger to passenger, so I'm just going to turn into it. My vision's quite obstructed with the cars there, so I'm going to wait until I think it's safe, and I'm going to creep and peep forward into a position where I can see. Vision's very obstructed here, so I'm just going to keep edging forward, look into the turn, okay, and it's safe to proceed now, and then off I go. So I'm waiting for 3 things to tell me I can turn there. A break in the traffic, which I got, a red light, or a filter light. At the T-junction I'm going to take a right turn. So check my mirror, signal, check my side mirror, manoeuvre into position. As I'm approaching the turn, when I get about 15 feet away from the junction, you can just put your clutch in, roll into first gear as always, look both ways, and then turn. And adopt the normal position to the left as soon as it's practical.
Take up position in good time just left of the centre of the road. When it is safe to proceed, move off, avoid cutting the corner, and adopt normal position to the left as soon as is practical. Here we see the same manoeuvre, but in this animation the car cuts the corner and finishes in an incorrect road position. Here we see the same manoeuvre, but with an obstruction on the road we are entering. Anticipate the obstruction in advance, and once again adopt the normal position to the left as soon as is practical. Move back in gradually. Here we see the same manoeuvre, but in this animation the car fails to anticipate the hazard ahead.
I'm going to take the next turn right here. I'm going to check my mirror first, I'm going to signal, I'm going to check my side mirror and manoeuvre gradually just left of the centre of the road. I'm braking gently, I am in 4th gear. I'm going to just go straight to 2nd gear, making sure to come off the clutch and then to just stop just before the front of the car hits the middle of the road that I'm turning into. I've looked into the turn, there's no obstructions, checking my mirrors and off I go. Make sure you don't cut the corner and adopt the normal position to the left as soon as is practical.
Turning right into a road, take up position just left of the centre of the road, and when nearing the turn, throw a glance into the turn you intend taking, and when safe, proceed with the turn and avoid cutting the corner, once again adopting normal position to the left as soon as is practical.
So when turning left into a side road, check your mirror, signal, side mirror. Approach it in 2nd gear, so just basically get to 2nd gear well before the turn. Keep about 1 metre from the turn. As you come around the turn, if you see an obstruction, move straight out for it, checking your right mirror as you do so. Approaching this T-junction, I'm going to take a left turn, check my mirror, signal, check my side mirror. I'm in 3rd gear, which is fine, because as with all T-junctions, my intention is to roll into 1st gear. So nice and slowly down, get your position with the turn, roll into 1st gear, look right, look left, look right again, and proceed. And adopt a normal position to the left as soon as it's practical. These cars, because I'm aiming to keep a door length from them, I'm just going to keep out slightly from them. When instructed to take a left turn at a T-junction, once again you can nearly follow the same principles as turning right at a T-junction. So first of all, check your mirror, signal, check your side mirror, and as you're approaching it, get your position with the turn and once again roll into 1st gear. Look right, look left, look right again and make the turn, adopting the position to the left as soon as it's practical. Now here there was a parked car, so I just pulled straight out from it, and as you can see there's another parked car, so I'm going to just keep my road position out from these cars, avoid weaving in and out between them. So when you're driving, your aim is to be driving in big long straight lines. Any quick turns of the wheel is incorrect.
When turning left, avoid swinging wide, and on sharp turns make sure you don't clip the curb with your back wheel. When making a left turn where a hazard is present, you should always take the hazard into consideration. In this case, the driver has observed the parked car and moves around it gradually, while leaving safe clearance distance and moves back into normal position gradually. The incorrect road position to adopt in this situation would be to take no advance notice of the parked car, which would leave the driver no option but to swerve around it. This is not safe driving.
So to conclude T-junctions, when instructed by the tester to take a right turn at a T-junction, follow the same procedure as always by checking your mirror first, signalling right, check your side mirror, manoeuvring just left of the centre of the road, and as you approach the T, just roll into 1st gear. You don't need to come to a complete stop, but by just slowing right down to a near walking pace, it'll give you a lot of time to take the junction in, looking right and left for any obstructions, any cars coming, or anything that's going to alter the course of your right turn. For a T-junction turning left, you're going to check your mirror, signal, check your left mirror, keep into the left, and as you approach it, get your position with the turn, roll into 1st gear, look right, look left, and look right again as you're moving off. And what's very important on these turns, if there's anything blocking your view, that you creep and peep into a position where you have an unobscured view. You're not trying to look through parked cars. It's very important. And how you finish the turn is also very important. With the right turn, if there's any cars which are on the road that you're going into, obviously you've got to take them into consideration before you turn. So you might end up turning slightly a little bit earlier so that you don't end up driving straight towards them. When turning left at the T-junction, as you come around the turn, your observation will also take in any parked cars, and it's important that you take these into consideration once again, so you're coming straight out for them. You're not driving in behind them and then turning the wheel out at the last second.
For road and lane position, stay left on straights and bends, follow the correct course at intersections, keep a safe distance from vehicles in front. 1 metre per mile an hour, double in wet conditions. Don't swing wide when turning left, and don't cut corners turning right.
Now here we can see there's a lot of parked cars. Obviously this is forcing me to stay out in the middle. What I want to do here is always avoid, in any gap, just to weave in to the left and then come back out. So we just maintain our road position in a big long straight line, making sure you keep the door length from the parked cars. And as I get past this third car here, I see there's nothing really in front, so I'm just going to check my side mirror, very gradually move into the left.
When passing stationary vehicles, always allow sufficient but not excessive clearance. Move out gradually while taking correct observation, always leave a door length between yourself and the obstruction, and when it is clear to move back in, proceed gradually. In the common situation where there is a long line of cars parked on a narrow road, the driver should stay out where possible. Weaving in and out of cars is wrong. Drivers should show the tester that they are taking everything they can see into consideration in advance, as opposed to only considering immediate obstacles. All movements in and out, as well as steering, should be done smoothly and gradually.
Car in front is turning right, so I can overtake in the left lane. So have a little look around the junction, scanning the junction once again, and then proceed forward, checking my mirrors.
When overtaking and passing, leave 1 door length from stationary vehicles and move in and out gradually.
Mirrors are a very important part of the test, obviously. The tester really wants to see that you're very aware of not only what's in front of you, but also on either side of you and what's behind you. So good use of the mirrors is essential to passing the test. You should be checking your mirrors before you move off. So I'm at these red lights. But when they go green, I first of all want to just check all my 3 mirrors. There could be a cyclist or possibly a motorbike coming up behind me. So I'm going to check all my mirrors and then off I go. It shouldn't delay you too much. Once you turn a corner, obviously you want to get your bearings on that road, and that's done by just checking your rear view mirror again. So the first 2 is when you're moving off, you'll always check your mirror. And every time you enter a new road, you just want to get your bearings on that road, and that's done by just a quick glance in the mirror. Sometimes you get people who are checking all 3 mirrors and they're just taking their eyes off the road a little bit too much. On a single lane road like this, the rear view mirror is perfectly sufficient. Every about 10 seconds is fine. Just before I move off, I'm going to check my mirrors once again before I move off, and I'm watching that pedestrian, making sure he doesn't pull out. Now, as I'm going through the junction, I'm just going to have a little look around the junction. This is called scanning the junction. Now, these lights are about to go green. I'm turning left. It's a T-junction. There is traffic lights. But as I said before, it's important that you scan every junction, okay? So I'm still looking right, even though I have a green light. So many drivers, when they have a green light and they're turning left, they don't even look right. I know it sounds like such an obvious thing, but it's something where so many people lose marks. Now look into the turn. I'm going to have to turn a bit earlier because of those parked cars. Once again, always looking into the turn before you turn, which may alter the course of your right turn, which it did there. So mirror checks are always done before you move off, obviously, before you slow down, before you're moving out, before you're moving in, before you indicate always, and every time you enter a new road. And even though that may seem like a lot of mirror checks, you don't want to be overdoing it as well. Obviously the most important thing is what's in front of you, but keeping good checks on what's on either side and behind is also vital. When moving off, it is important that you just take your time doing it. An awful lot of people lose marks at some point during the test doing this manoeuvre. First of all, just check your rear view mirror, signal right, put it into first gear, check your side mirror, check your blind spot. Okay, when you're fully satisfied that there's no cars coming, just move off gently, double checking everything, and off you go. As I'm approaching this road here, I see there's a brow of a hill in front of me. I'm going to just check my mirrors. Just going to see somebody walk. I'm going to drop a gear, showing the tester that I'm ready for anything that's coming over the hill. Okay, as the road opens up, I'm going to go back to fourth gear now. Once again, just checking my mirrors and keeping to the left all the time. Now I intend to take the third exit in the roundabout up ahead, so I've got to change lanes. First of all, check my rear view mirror, signal. Just going to check my side mirror, look over, a little glance over my right shoulder, and then cancel the indicator. Now I'm taking the third exit, so I need to indicate again. Check my mirror, signal, check my side mirror. As I'm approaching the roundabout, I'm just going to drop into second gear. Look to the right, there's no cars approaching. So round I go, just having a little glance on my mirror so I know everything that's around me. And as I'm exiting the roundabout, I'm just going to check my left mirror, signal left, and exit off the roundabout. At the T-junction in front of me, I'm going to take a right turn. Check my mirror, signal, check my side mirror, roll up. As I approach about 15 feet from the turn, just roll into first gear, looking both ways. Now, as I look to the left, I see a car blocking my view, so I'm just going to edge forward until I have a clearer view of the road, and then make the turn. When instructed to turn left at a T-junction, we're going to follow the same principles as the right turn, as in you're going to roll into first gear, but the position will vary slightly. So first of all, check your mirror, signal, check your side mirror. Approaching third gear is fine. Get your position with the turn, roll into first gear, look right, look left, and look right again. So to conclude turning left and right, first of all to talk about left turns and observation. As you're approaching it, you want to be in second gear approaching the turn, taking the turn nice and slowly, ensuring that you don't swing wide. As you're coming around the turn, make sure you're looking into the turn that you're turning into, looking for obstructions which will alter the course of your left turn. If there's any parked cars in the distance, it's important to take them into consideration early, gradually moving out as you see them. If there's no cars in the distance, we can just keep into the left and adopt the normal position to the left as soon as it's practical. Turning right into a junction, as we're approaching it, it's important to look down into the turn before you turn. This gives us a good idea if there's any pedestrians walking across the road, if there's any parked cars, which once again will alter the course of our right turn, and generally gives us a good idea of how to take the turn. Some turns are wider than others, and it's important that we don't cut the corners. So by looking through a right window, we get a good idea of where the centre point of the road that we're turning into is, ensuring that we won't cut the corner. It's very important to remember, always approaching these turns will be in second gear, which is in direct contrast to the T-junctions, which we've already done, where you're always going to roll into first gear.
For observation, always remember to check your blind spot. Before overtaking and changing lanes, check that it is safe to do so. Take proper observation when turning at junctions. Use good judgment, but don't be overcautious. Use your mirrors frequently, but don't overdo it.
Now, whenever driving on a straight road, always be watching out for any hazards or potential hazards. Bad drivers react to hazards, good drivers react to potential hazards. They're watching out for things that may become a problem and just react to them before they do become a problem. So as I'm driving along this road, as I've noticed, there's ramps the whole way up the road. Some of them are split ramps and some of them are full ramps, as you see here. I'm in third gear. The ramps aren't too high, so third gear is safe and it's comfortable enough. Okay, there's more ramps here on this road. Once again, they're not too high, so I don't need to worry about them too much. You'll never hit a ramp in fourth gear, that's very important. Now, straight away as I'm entering this estate, I see there's traffic calming there. There's a traffic calming sign, okay? So as I look up, I see ramps there. Now, your aim is to make it, as I said before, as comfortable for the tester as possible. So I'm just going to slow down. Third gear is okay for these ramps. The main aim is not to hit them too hard. If you find yourself hitting them a bit too hard, you are losing marks and reacting to hazards. Now the sign shows me here that the road narrows again up ahead. So I'm just checking my mirrors constantly. And once again, there's another ramp, so I'm just going to slow down a little bit approaching it and then off the brake as I'm going over it. So ramps should always be treated the same. You brake before you get to them and then you're gently going back in the accelerator as you're going over them. So check my mirror again before I slow down, braking gently, and then back in the accelerator very lightly. Good interaction between third and fourth gear shows that it's your way of showing the tester that you see potential hazards. So whenever you see something, that any bend in the road which is, you can't see around, a good idea is just to gently drop the third gear. Just checking my right mirror there as I'm moving out for the roadworks. So okay, I'm going to brake gently here, just check my mirror. Okay, check my right mirror, there's nobody behind me, so I'm going to just gradually move out. Now there was a continuous white line there, and a question they can often ask is, when can you pass a continuous white line? If you're gaining access to an entrance or if there's an obstruction. And there was an obstruction, so I just had to move over past the white line. Okay, now as I'm driving here, I'm keeping in left. I see a lot of kids there on the side, so I'm going to check my right mirror and just move out gradually. There's no cars behind me. And then just check my left mirror and assume my position back into the left. Now, as I'm going through this junction, I'm just going to throw a little scan right and left. Make sure there's nobody braking the red light. Now I'm in the left lane here, which is the correct lane to be in. The right lane is for over. Now I'm going to just cover the brake as this car comes out in the road there. Okay, he's moving off, so okay. And then cover the brake again for this van. By covering the brake, I'm not even pressing the brake. It would be the same as easing off the accelerator. All I'm doing is, I'm just basically preparing if that car attempts to go out in front of me. Okay, speed limit is 60 kilometers, but just being in the left lane, there's a lot of parked cars which could reverse out. Now I'm going to have to change lanes here, so I'm just going to check my right mirror, signal, and just gradually manoeuvre over. Now the lanes were merging there. There was no car behind me, so I didn't feel it necessary to indicate. Very important that you're checking your right mirror as you're merging into the right lane. Okay, I'm driving on a main road here. I'm looking up ahead, there's cars in front of me. I'm at 60 kilometers, which is the speed limit. Now there's a garage on the right, and I can see it looks to be like a couple of cars which are turning into it. Okay, they've made their turn, but I'm still going to be watching for any cars which are coming out. Okay, there's a car coming. I'm just going to check my mirrors and just drop a gear there. Tester straight away knows that I've recognised it as a hazard. Okay, accelerating again, back to fourth gear. Now, as I can see, there's a school around here. I've just seen signs there. So I'll be a little bit more cautious, constantly checking my mirrors. Also a little bit slower. Wherever it's the schools, it's always a 50 kilometer speed limit. So there seems to be a lot of bends in this road. So I don't want to be accelerating where I can't see. So just always ease off the accelerator as you see a bend in front of you. Sometimes covering the brake may be required.
When reacting to hazards, concentrate on the road in front. Watch out for indicators and brake lights. React early to all hazards or potential hazards. Brake gently and in good time.
Lack of progress remains to be one of the biggest failing points in the test. The tester wants to see that you can maintain reasonable forward progress, keeping up with the normal flow of traffic, provided it is safe to do so, whilst keeping up with the speed limits. When driving in a residential area, the speed limit being 50 kilometers an hour, your aim is about 45 kilometers. Try not to go above that. I'm after entering this main road. The speed limit is currently 50 kilometers. So I'm in fourth gear at 50 kilometers, checking my mirrors regularly. Now as I look down, I see the speed limit is going up to 60 kilometers. So I'm just going to gently accelerate and push up to the 60 kilometer mark, aiming basically to keep up with the flow of traffic. Okay, there I am at 60 now. So with the rain, I will be aiming just to slow down a little bit earlier for things, and obviously not driving quite as quick because your stopping distances change. But in a way, all this has to be done whilst keeping good progress. One of the biggest failing points in the test is people driving too slow. So even when it is raining, it's all about knowing when to slow down and when to stop. When you have a straight road in front, get up your speed, but just be watching a little bit further ahead. If the car in front brakes, your foot should be over the brake. If the car in front indicates, that's them letting you know what they're doing. Just going to slow down, let that car make their turn. Keep watching these ramps. These ramps are a little bit higher. So it's important not to be going too fast over them. If you hit a ramp too hard, you've lost a mark on reacting to hazards. You haven't reacted to it correctly. So the aim is slow down nice and early, and your aim is that you don't even feel the car slowing down. In a way, the less you have to brake, the better you're driving, because it means you're taking things into consideration earlier. Now I'm on a dual carriageway here, so I've lanes on either side of me, so I'm constantly checking the right and left mirrors and the middle mirror. Okay, the speed limit is 80 kilometers here, so I will use fifth gear here. A lot of test routes, generally the highest speed limit is 60 kilometers. But if your local test centre has a 80 zone, first of all it's important to note that there is an 80 zone there, and you want to be getting to fifth gear.
For speed and progress, always maintain reasonable forward progress, keep to the speed limits. When it is safe to proceed, don't wait too long, and adjust your speed to suit road and traffic conditions.
Approaching this T-junction, I'm going to take a left turn, so I'm just going to check my mirror signal. Straight away I notice a stop sign, so I've nothing to do but stop. Turn into it, getting my position, and just stop fully. Into first gear, looking right, looking left, looking right again, and then off we go. Main thing is when you see a stop sign that you just come to a complete stop. Okay, at the T-junction I'm going to take a right turn, checking my mirror signal, side mirror. Now it's a stop sign I noticed straight away, so I'm just going to come to a full stop. No need for the handbrake because I'm not in an incline. Look both ways. I'm going to turn without cutting the corner. Okay. With the T-junction just in front of me there, I do see that there's a stop sign. Even though I'm stopped behind 3 cars which are also stopped, when I get to the top, I must obey the sign as well. So I must come to a complete stop at the stop sign. If you like, this isn't my stop yet. It will be when I get to the line. Now, here with the green light, there is a filter there, but the green light is my main light. The car in front should be in the junction. The main aim is that you take possession of the junction. As you can see in front, the car here is waiting for a filter light, which is incorrect. The full green light means go, basically. Move into the junction. That's it. Okay, there he goes. Look around, look into the turn, looking for any obstructions. Now, once again, moving off, I have a filter light here. So I couldn't turn right, but the filter light's directing me to turn left. I'm checking all my mirrors. I'm going to get to second gear before this turn. Have a look right. Never fully trust lights. And adopt the normal position to the left as soon as it's practical. I'm sitting here waiting to turn right at the junction. The lights have just turned green. I'm going to proceed into the junction, checking my mirrors first. Now as I move forward there, I'm allowed to stop in the box junction if I'm turning right. My vision's quite obstructed to the inside lane there, so I'm just going to creep and peep forward, have a look into the junction. Okay, I'm fully satisfied it's safe to go, and off I go.
For traffic controls, always comply with traffic lights, obey road signs and markings, and obey pedestrian and zebra crossings.
Gears are a big section in the test. A lot of people do lose marks on this section. Obviously when we're starting, we're always going to start in first gear. When you're in housing estates like we are now, we're going to generally just try and get to about third gear. We won't be going to fourth gear. Try and avoid driving in second gear. Second gear is only really for getting to third gear and turning. With the exceptions of T-junctions, which we've already done, you're going to be rolling into first gear at all your T-junctions. So I'm going to move off now, okay? I'm in first gear, doing the procedure for moving off, side mirror, check my blind spot. Really taking my time, when it's safe to go, off I go. Now, it's important to show good progress as you're moving off. So first gear, second gear, nearly like a rhythm to the car. Listening to the engine, once the revs come up, you want to go up to third gear. And always pushing your speed, you know, even roughly to about 45 kilometers. You may not get there, but in housing estates, that's what your aim is. At the T-junction, I'm going to take a right turn. So I'm checking my mirror, signal, side mirror. Now at the T-junction, we've done this already. We're going to go up in third gear and just roll straight into first gear. Putting your clutch in about 15 feet before the turn rolling into first gear, nearly stopping but not quite. First gear into second gear straight away into third gear. So it's complete consistency in each gear change. As I turn right here, all turns are generally done in second gear. So before you get to the turn, I'm just going to slow down into second gear, off the clutch slowly so it's a smooth gear change, and then looking into the turn and getting into the left hand side as soon as it's practical. The main thing is before you turn is that you're in second gear well before the turn. If you're still changing gears while on the turn, you will be losing marks here. So once again, I'm up in third gear straight away. Now up ahead I see a right angle turn, so I can't really see around it. Obviously I want to slow down, and a good way of showing the tester that I'm ready for anything around the corner is just to drop to second gear, looking into the turn once again, keeping left as I can. Okay, at the T-junction I'm going to take a right turn. Once again, T-junctions, always back to first gear. We'll call rolling into first gear. So up the very top, about now, clutch into first gear, look both ways, and then looking both ways. If you notice, I'm not coming to a complete stop. The car's still very slightly still rolling, getting a nice flow to the turn. And once again, pushing my speed. I'm not letting this needle drop until it gets to about the speed I want, which is about 45 kilometers. I'm going to take a left turn, starting slowing down gradually early, dropping to second gear and off the clutch before the turn. Left, just steering nicely around the turn. I'm going to gently slow down for this car, checking my right mirror as I'm moving out. Now, as I'm slowing down for the red light, I'm just going to gradually slow down, drop a gear to third, come off the clutch slowly, and then I'm going to stop in third gear. If you're driving along in fourth gear and lights turn red quite suddenly, stopping in fourth gear is completely permissible, no problem at all. But generally when you have time, the tester would like to see you just drop one gear to third. For all normal driving, keep your hands at the 2/4 position. When turning, use the pull-push method and try and avoid crossing your hands. One more. As I'm stopped here, I'm going to pull up my handbrake, which is necessary because I'm on a slight incline, and I'd always recommend using the handbrake whenever you're at a red light. At stop signs, it's not necessary unless you're going to roll back. So sometimes people are quite unsure when they should use the handbrake and when they shouldn't. So when instructed by the tester to pull in, if you find you're on an incline, obviously then the tester is asking you to do a hill start. So the main thing is that you don't roll back. So you will need to use your handbrake for this. So when the tester instructs you to move off, you're going to follow the correct procedure for moving off, which is checking your mirror, signal right, check your side mirror, check your blind spot, find the bite. When you feel you have the bite, then release the handbrake, and then slowly, and try and do it as gently as you can as you're moving off. Try not to roll back at all. Now, as you can see here, it's actually just started raining very lightly. So it's important that you keep the car clear at all times. If the car is steaming up, the tester will mark you. That's why your demisters will be required. If it's raining slightly, you must have the correct setting on for the windscreen wipers. The intermittent one will do fine here. If it starts raining heavier, I'll go on to a quicker setting on the windscreen wipers. If it stops raining, I'll be very quick to cancel them as well. So the tester is watching that you're keeping full control of the inside controls of the car as well.
For vehicle controls, remember not to coast. Use your gears correctly, i.e. for turning and speed. Apply the brake smoothly. Use the handbrake when necessary and steer the vehicle with control. When parking, remember not to obstruct any entrances. Park within 18 inches or 45 centimeters from the curb. And do not park opposite a car on a narrow road. Here the animation illustrates the correct course to be taken for the first exit. When taking the first exit off a roundabout, check your mirror, signal left in good time and move into the left lane approaching the roundabout. Yield to traffic on the right, and when it is safe to proceed, move off and exit in the left lane.
Okay, I'm approaching another roundabout here. There's a bus lane still in my left lane, so I'm constantly checking my left mirror. I'm at 60 kilometres. Now, I'm obviously going to have to move into the left lane just as the roundabout approaches because I'm going to take the first exit. So I'm just going to check my mirror, signal. There's a car coming up behind me. Okay, now I'm going to move into the left lane. Gently braking, drop into second gear before the roundabout. So you're approaching it in the gear that you intend turning in. Looking right, there's nobody there, and I can go. Okay, and as I enter the new road, once again, as always, just checking the mirrors so you're clear on what's behind you.
Here the animation illustrates the correct course to be taken for the second exit. When taking the second exit off a roundabout, there is no indicator required because you are just going straight. Check your mirror to see what's behind and also approach in the left lane. Yield to traffic on the right, and when it is safe to proceed, move off, staying in the left lane. When passing the first exit, signal left to inform other drivers that we are coming off on the next exit. Exit in the left lane.
Now, as I'm approaching this roundabout, I'm going to take the second exit. It's a larger roundabout, as I can see. So I'm going to slow down approaching it, checking my mirrors, drop into second gear approaching it. Now, once again, look right, nobody there. There is only one lane in the roundabout, so I'm going to stay close to the middle, glance left as I'm exiting. And then once again, as I enter the new road, just check my mirrors so I know it's behind me. Now, the roundabout in front of me, I'm going to be going straight on, which is the second exit. There's a bus lane in my left lane which would constitute as an obstruction. So when taking the second exit, even though you're generally in the left lane, it is acceptable, if there's an obstruction in the left lane, to do it in the right lane, which is what I'm showing you here. So I'm in second gear approaching it, looking right, there's nobody there. Get into the centre of the roundabout, beside the roundabout. Round I go. Now if I'm in the right lane, I must come off in the right lane. Checking my left mirror and stay in the right lane. Now there's merging traffic from the left, so I'm going to just keep checking my left mirror. Doesn't seem to be anybody there. And checking my rear view mirror as well. Once again, getting back up to 60 kilometres.
Here the animation illustrates the correct course to be taken for the third exit. When taking the third exit off a roundabout, check your mirror, signal right and move into the right lane. Yield to traffic on the right, and when it is safe to proceed, move off, staying in the right lane. When passing the second exit, signal left to inform other drivers that we are coming off on the next exit. Look over your left shoulder and exit in the left lane.
Now the roundabout that I'm approaching, it's onto a major road. There's 4 exits, so it's a traditional roundabout. I'm going to be taking the third exit at the roundabout. So I'm going to just check my mirror, signal, check my side mirror. So I'm indicating right for the third exit because I'm going right. Basically for roundabouts, you're indicating in the direction you're going. If you're going left, you indicate left. Straight on, you don't indicate. And right, you must indicate right. As I'm approaching right here, I see cars coming. Be very careful on roundabouts. Quite often, okay, it's safe to go now. Off we go now. Move into the roundabout. I'm keeping in tight to the roundabout, keeping to the right lane. Now, as I'm exiting from the third, coming off the third exit, I'm going to check my left mirror. If there's nobody there, come off in the left lane. If there's any cars which are fast approaching from the left lane, don't hesitate to come off in the right lane. That's very important about the third exit. So where you're aiming to come off in the left lane, it quite often happens where you'll be forced by a car coming behind you to come off in the right lane. Now on a roundabout, which isn't a traditional roundabout, as in the one in front of me here has 5 exits, okay? If you're going left, generally you're indicating left. If you're going straight on, you won't be indicating. And if you're veering to the right, you're going to be signalling right. So often with a roundabout with more than 4 exits, people get very confused. But you've just got to first of all remember where you're turning. Like here I'm turning right. Even the fourth exit is a right turn, so you must be in the right lane. Okay. Now the lights are green, just checking my mirrors before I move off. Taking the fourth exit in this roundabout. So I'm going to keep into the right lane, keep on watching the traffic lights. Okay, all the way around. I'm going to keep in tight to the right lane. Checking my mirrors. Red lights, I'm going to have to stop here. Now the lights are green. Now around this point I've got to keep concentrating on my left mirror. So I've got to signal left. And I've got to gradually move into the left lane. Constantly, a little flick over my shoulder. And the main aim is that you just exit the roundabout safely. In the last number of years, mini roundabouts have become an important part of everyday driving. First thing to remember is that they follow the exact same principles as all roundabouts, whereas you're yielding to traffic on the right. There's two different kinds of mini roundabouts, ones which are raised slightly. These you will have to come all the way around, obviously. And ones which are painted. They're generally on the smaller junctions. So this first one I'm going to just take a right turn, which is the second exit. I'm going to approach in second gear as always. Look right, nobody there, glance left, and then turn. Slightly going over the roundabout in the middle, otherwise I'll be forced to hit the curb. I'm going to take a right turn or second exit of this roundabout, mirror signal. Now as always I've got to look right because that's who I'm yielding to. There's nobody there, glance left, and then when it's safe to proceed, off we go. As you notice, I'm not signalling left exiting the roundabout because with the smaller roundabouts, especially when turning right, there's too much steering involved. And by signalling can sometimes throw your steering off. Okay, approaching a mini roundabout, I'm going to take the second exit, which is a right turn. Mirror signal, side mirror. Now as I'm approaching this turn, there's a wall blocking my view to the right, and obviously I'm yielding to traffic on the right. So just take it nice and slowly. Okay, now I can see into the road, and I'm going to turn. With the painted roundabouts, if you go over them a little bit, it wouldn't matter too much in the test. Obviously, sometimes if you were to go fully around them, you could end up in the curb. So that's why they're painted. Make a good effort to go around them. Now, as I'm approaching this mini roundabout, I'm going straight on. I certainly want to decrease my speed, so slowing down gently. Third gear is okay. I'm going to look right, glance left as always, and off we go.
For roundabouts, always give correct signals. Yield right of way and follow the correct course.
So the second manoeuvre that the tester will ask you to do is to reverse around the corner. When they ask you to pull in just after the turn, check your mirror signal. Don't indicate too early, because if you do, it'll be a misleading signal to anybody behind you and people will think you're turning left. So just when you're level with the turn, you can indicate then to pull in gradually. Don't pull in too close to the junction. You want to be about 5 meters away from the junction, okay? So to do the reverse around the corner, first of all, I'm going to put into reverse gear. Look everywhere, checking blind spots in both directions, looking out the back window. What I often say, the best way to describe is do a full 360 with your head. What you're watching out for is any cars coming in any direction. At the moment there's none. And also watching out for any pedestrians or any cyclists. If anybody moves by you and you're still moving, you've just failed your test. So it's really important to be vigilant throughout the reverse around the corner. So I'm perfectly satisfied. There doesn't seem to be anybody coming. Okay. Now looking out the back window and in the side window. Okay, now there is a car approaching. They're turning, so I'm just going to stop as they approach. Look around again. Okay, they're gone. The speed you want to be doing this at generally is a good way to put it is maybe at a walking pace. Now, if you notice, I'm looking out the back window and using my side mirror. The side mirror would not be sufficient on its own. When I get about halfway, because the front of the car is kicking out slightly, I'm just going to stop, look everywhere again. Once again, I'm perfectly satisfied that there's no cars coming or any pedestrians or cyclists. So I'm going to finish up, looking behind and in the side mirror. And the main aim of it is that you finish in a reasonably good park position. As I said already, people do have a lot of difficulty with this. If you're out a little bit, I wouldn't be too worried. Just try and park the car quite well at the end. Okay, and stop whenever the tester gives you the instruction to stop. pull up the handbrake and into neutral. After the reverse around the corner, 90% of the time the tester will generally tell you to take a left turn. Okay, you've got to remember that you're pulling out from a park position. So follow the correct procedure for moving off, which is to check your mirror, signal right into first gear, check your side mirror, look over your shoulder so you're checking your blind spot. Move off. Now there's no need to swing the wheel right out to the middle of the road. I can just gradually move off. And then as I approach the turn, just check my mirror signal and then get my position for the left turn as always. Looking right, looking left, and looking right again. Off you go. Practice this. You will be doing this in the test.
When reversing around the corner, keep reasonably close to the curb. Check your blind spot halfway around and stop for any approaching vehicles.
During the course of the test, you are going to be asked to pull in to do the turnabout. This is more commonly known as a 3-point turn, but they've changed the name of it because you don't have to do it in 3 points anymore. If you find yourself on a narrower road, the main aim is that you don't hit the curb, and if it takes you 5 points, or sometimes even 7 points, there's no problem with that. When you're told to pull in to do the turnabout, make sure you're not obstructing any entrances. For the turnabout, your aim is that you drive as slow as you can, which is done by controlling the speed of the car with the clutch, whilst turning the wheel as quick as you can. The biggest failing points in the test, and this is very important, tend to be observation. About 50% of people that do the turnabout, even if they pass the test, tend to fail on lack of observation. So what I'm going to do is just something that you've got to watch, go practice, watch it again, and just aim to copy exactly what I do. So first of all, I'm going to follow the procedure for moving off, which is check my mirror, signal, go to first gear, check my side mirror, check my blind spot. I'm delaying in all these. Now there is a car coming, so I'm just going to wait. Okay, as the car passes, I'm safe to move off. Now, as you've seen, I've really taken my time moving off. Okay, and off I go. Driving as slow as I can, steering as quick as I can. Now, something good to practice, just as you get closer to the curb, straighten the wheel up. It helps you for your next manoeuvre. Stop. Now I'm going to avoid dry steering, which is turning the wheel when the car is stopped. The road is on a little bit of an incline, so I'm going to use my handbrake. If the road isn't on an incline, it's not necessary. I'm going to look right, look left, and look behind me. So I've shown the tester that I've looked everywhere. When I'm reversing, I'm going to look in the direction I'm driving, which is behind me and out the back window. As I get a bit halfway over, I'm going to just look over my right shoulder as I get closer to the curb. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to use my handbrake again, look both ways, and then when it's safe to proceed, off we go. If any cars approach during the turnabout, just stop and acknowledge them. Don't keep driving as they're approaching you. That's very important. A lot of people fail for things like this. And if you are stopped and the car attempts to drive along the back of you, there's no problem with that whatsoever. Just let them do it. Generally, they'll stop and let you finish the manoeuvre. Make sure you continue on with your correct observation. Okay, here I'm going to do another turnabout, but as I've pulled in, I've noticed that the road here is a lot smaller than the last one. It's going to take me 5 turns, which is absolutely no problem. You've just got to follow the correct procedure as before, and it'll just take 2 more manoeuvres, okay? So as before, I'm going to check my mirror, signal, into first gear, check my side mirror, check my blind spot, okay, there's nobody coming. Drive as slow as you can, while steering as quick as you can. Straighten up the wheel just at the end. Okay, into reverse gear. I'm not on a hill, so I'm not going to bother with my handbrake this time. I'm looking everywhere, looking behind me as I'm reversing. Now, I've got to keep watching that curb. Just make sure you don't hit it, because you are allowed 5. Now, I'm on a bit of an incline, so I'm going to use the handbrake here. Look right and left. Keep looking right and left. Okay, and there really isn't too much room to manoeuvre here at all. Brake up again. I'm going to look everywhere again and keep looking behind you when you're reversing. Don't be using your mirrors if you can. Look behind you. As you get closer to the curb, you can flick to your right shoulder. Okay, handbrake, looking right and left, and really making it clear. The tester's left in no doubt that you've looked in every direction for every manoeuvre. and then finish off. So that one took me 5, which once again is no problem. I intended to do so because the road was a lot narrower.
When doing the turnabout, the key is to drive slowly, steer quickly. Do not bump the curb, and always take proper observation.
At some stage during the test, you're going to be asked to pull in to do the hand signals. There's 2 sets of hand signals. One's for a pointsman, that's a policeman that would be in front of you. And another set of hand signals is for any cars or vehicles behind you. So when asked to do them, first of all, you will have to roll down your window. And to go through the 3 ones for the pointsman, first of all, right turn, just extend your arm out the window like this. Left turn, straight across here like this. And straight on is with your left hand, just showing the palm of your hand to the pointsman. The second set of hand signals are for a car behind you. Right turn is the exact same, hand extended out the window. Left turn is anti-clockwise, moving your hand around. An easier way of remembering this is just we're turning left, so in a way you're telling the car behind you to overtake you. And then the third hand signal is just to indicate to the car behind you that you're slowing down or stopping, and that's just up and down like that. So watch through these again and just learn them. Very simple, no reason to lose any marks in this in the test.
Do I fail if I hit the curb while reversing around the corner?
No, points are lost, but it is still possible to pass the test.
What are the biggest failing points in the test?
Not enough usage of mirrors and lack of observation when turning are the main failing points. A lot of people also fail for lack of progress. Keeping up with the normal flow of traffic is an important part of the test. Another common failing point is when the applicant fails to show the tester that he or she has a good command of the vehicle controls. Generally, bad habits can lose you marks on the day of the test. And lastly, keep an eye on your road and lane position.
If I don't answer all of the theory questions correctly, have I failed?
No, if you've prepared for the test, you'll have no problem answering the questions, but failing to answer them correctly does not disqualify you.
Do I fail if I cut out on a hill start?
No, points are lost, but you don't fail.
What happens if I don't complete the turnabout in 3 points?
No problem. It's called a turnabout, not a 3-point turn. Complete the turnabout in the least amount of manoeuvres possible, concentrating on your technique.
Should I attempt to talk to the tester?
Be friendly, but remember that it's the tester's job to be professional. Concentrate on your driving, and if you don't understand a direction given to you, ask the tester to repeat it.
Do I need to indicate when passing parked vehicles?
While it isn't wrong to do so, it's not necessary anymore. Basically, it's only necessary to indicate past obstructions if someone is going to benefit from it, i.e. another road user.
Should I always depend on the signals of other road users?
No, make sure you never trust anybody's signals. Always be prepared for other road users who may have forgotten to switch off their indicator. At a T-junction, when you see a car approaching indicating left, make sure they actually start turning before you move out. We hope you now have a better understanding of the correct and safest way to drive. We'll now show you a full sample of how the driving test should be done, which will give you a better idea of what to expect on the day. And for further tutorials on passing your test, log on to our website onlinepretest.ie. Good luck and thanks for watching.
When arriving at the test centre, look out for any designated parking that may be available for test applicants. If there's none provided, find a good spot to park in to ensure an easy start when pulling off. I'd recommend you arrive at the test centre about 10 to 15 minutes before the test. With you, you should have your driver's licence, your letter of application, and in some cases, know your car's registration number.
Now, Mr. Gavin Walsh here, please.
When the tester calls you, you'll be brought into an office. Firstly, he'll ask to see your driving license, which must be in date, and he'll ask you to sign your name, after which the theory part of the test takes place. This is where you'll be asked some of the common questions, followed by the road signs.
That's good. Now, can I get you to sign after me, please, Gavin?
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. Now, I'd like to ask you a few questions now. What's the procedure with a box junction, Gavin?
Okay, the rules for box
The rules
junction.
for a box junction.
Not allowed to stop it unless you're turning right, provided you're not causing obstruction.
Yeah, that's fine. And what's the rules applying to a clearway?
Clearway, no stopping or parking in the times indicated except for buses and taxis.
That's right. And what would you do if you were dazzled by headlights?
Dazzled by headlights, you should slow down, stop if you have to, and looking down and left to the verge of the road.
That's fine. When can you not overtake, Gavin?
Can't overtake on a continuous white line, a bend, a brow of a hill, and basically anywhere where your vision's obstructed.
That's good. And when do you use your dipped headlights?
You should dip your headlights always if you're in a well-lit area, dusk or dawn, snow or fog, when you're behind a vehicle or when there's any oncoming cars.
That's fine, Gavin. Now, just a couple of road signs I'd like to ask you now.
Yeah.
This sign here, Gavin, can you explain what that sign means?
Okay, that's a sign for a pedestrianised street.
Yeah, and this one here?
That's a sign for a clearway.
Very good. Now, Gavin, can you explain this sign here for me?
That's a staggered junction of less importance in front,
Very good. And this one here?
and that's a series of dangerous bends ahead.
Very good. Okay. And just one other here one. This one here, Gavin?
That's a level crossing unguarded by gates,
Yeah. And this one here?
and a dangerous slippery road ahead.
Very good. Okay, Gavin, that's fine. Now we'll proceed out to the car and we'll do the checks in the car there.
Okay.
With that part of the test out of the way, show the tester towards your car, where he'll check that your insurance disc is in date, your tax disc is in date, and for cars over 4 years old, your NCT is displayed and in date. With all this in order, he'll proceed with the vehicle checks.
That's great. Now where does the brake fluid go, Gavin?
Brake fluid's here.
That's good. And the coolant?
Coolant is here.
Radiator water, yeah.
Yeah,
Window washer water, Gavin?
it's here.
And the oil?
Well, the oil goes in here in
Yeah,
the dipstick for checking it, yeah.
That's good. Now how would you check the levels of the brake fluid, Gavin?
Just to the side there's a minimum and maximum level.
That's
so
good.
just filled up to the
Yeah.
maximum
And
level.
on the coolant?
Same again, just here on the side there's a maximum level just here.
That's good. That's fine, Gavin. Close the bonnet down now and we'll do the... Just check your brake lights for me.
Okay.
We'll also do the indicator.
Next, the tester will check that the car is roadworthy by checking the brake lights and indicators are all working.
Put the brake lights on for me. Off. That's fine. Give me the right indicator, Gavin. Give me the left indicator. That's great. Leave the left indicator on for me. Give me this indicator again. And now give me this one. That's fine, Gavin. That's great.
When the tester sits into the car, he's going to ask you about your vehicle controls.
We're going to just do some car checks now for me. I'd like you to, how would you dismiss the front window for me, please?
Just turn this to here with the fan.
That's good. How would you dismiss the back window?
Just this button here.
That's right. The hazard warning lights, how would you put those on?
Just push this button here.
That's right. How would you wash the front windscreen?
If I just pull this towards me.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's good. And how would you put on the dip lights for me, please?
Just down here, if we turn that twice.
That's right. And how would you put your main beam on?
If I turn on the dip lights and then just pull this forward.
That's correct. That's fine, Gavin. Thank you very much. Okay, Gavin, now I want you to drive as you normally drive. Turn right or left only as I direct you. In other words, keep going straight unless I tell you to turn.
Okay.
And in your own interest, we'll have no talking. But anything you don't understand, just ask me and I'll repeat it for you.
Okay.
Okay. So
When the tester asks you to move off, take a deep breath. There's no rush. Move off by indicating right. Check your right mirror, look over your right shoulder, and move off, once again checking your right mirror.
Now at the T-junction, I would like you to turn right.
Mirror, signal, check my right mirror, maneuver just left of the centre of the road, and as I approach the T-junction, I'm going to roll into first gear. This will give me plenty of time to be sure there's no cars coming from either side. When safe, move off, making sure you don't cut the corner. When the turn is complete, have a glance in your mirror to see what's going on behind you.
Now at the T-junction I would like you to turn left.
As I approach this turn, I quickly become aware that my vision is obstructed by the amount of parked cars. So once again, rolling back into first gear. This gives me more time to look both ways before entering the new road. With cars on both sides of the road, it's important to, whenever possible, keep a door length from the parked cars.
Now at the T-junction I would like you to turn left again.
Approaching this T-junction, because I can see early on that it's a main road I'm approaching and I know cars are probably travelling a bit faster, I'm going to roll into first gear here again. So already in the first couple of minutes I've shown good progress on the straight, whilst taking care on all turns. The tester straight away knows he has a competent driver on his hands. After entering the main road, I see that the speed limit is now 60 kilometers and a bus lane is forming in front of me. I need to gradually get to the speed limit, check my mirrors, moving out from the bus lane. Driving along this straight, I'm going to keep an eye on my rear view and left side mirror. Basically, I want to show the tester that I'm aware of any buses or taxis that may be coming up on the left lane.
Now Gavin, at the next junction I would like you to turn right.
With all the cars queued up in the left lane, I must maintain my position in the right lane approaching the junction. Once again, I find myself having to slightly go over the middle line in order to approach the junction in the correct position. When stopped at the red light, I'm going to lift up the handbrake and put the car into neutral. Proceed into the junction, and with no oncoming cars I can make my turn, once again checking my mirror after entering the new road. When driving along straight, I'm just keeping good progress and a good position to the left of the road, whilst keeping a regular check on my mirrors. When approaching ramps, don't be afraid to alter your road position slightly in order to make the drive more comfortable. Only do this where possible.
Now I'd like you to take the next turning to the left for me.
Mirror, signal, check my left mirror, keep into the left and take the turn without swinging wide.
I want you to pull in anywhere you like where it's safe and convenient.
Pulling in, check my mirror, signal, and pull in, making sure not to obstruct any entrances.
Now in your own time I'd like you to do a turnabout for me, and you can go back and forward as many times as necessary.
For the turnabout, first of all follow the procedure for moving off. When safe, move off, steering quickly whilst driving slowly, and just before finishing try straightening the wheel up. Stop the car, look everywhere, reverse looking behind you, and when you get close to the curb, once again try straightening the wheel. Look everywhere once again and drive off.
I'd like to take the next left turn.
As with any new road, observe the road as a whole, always being aware of cars entering and exiting junctions and any potential hazards that could be around you.
And I'd like you to take the next left turn again.
After my left turn here, I immediately observe parked cars in front, so stay out to ensure I keep a door length from the parked vehicles where possible. With a large amount of vehicles on this road, I must be very conscious of any potential hazards that may arise. While keeping good progress, keep to a safe speed and keep watching as far in front as you can.
I would like to take the next right turn at the T-junction.
Straight away I notice there's a stop sign at this junction. Simply come to a complete stop.
Take the next left turn.
Halfway through this left turn, by looking into the turn, I see a pedestrian walking across the road. Approach with extreme caution, showing the tester that you're ready to react to whatever the pedestrian may do. After this hazard, continue on with good progress.
Now at the T-junction, I'd like you to turn left.
Approaching this T-junction, I see a lot of cars parked, making it very tight. Check your mirrors as you're approaching and just take it slow. Entering a busy road, take extreme care and avoid driving into bus lanes. With the lights green, I'm waiting in first gear to proceed. When the junction is clear, move in and make the turn when safe, whilst also glancing into the turn for any obstructions which may lie ahead. On all roads, be aware of and avoid driving in the cycle tracks.
I would like to take the next turning to the right.
Approaching the junction, I'm going to have a look left and right.
Next turning right for me, please. Next turning to the right.
Mirror, signal, check my side mirror and maneuver into position. When clear, look into the junction and turn without cutting the corner. After turning right, I can quickly see that the roads are very narrow. There are a lot of obstructions around and there are a lot of bends in the road. I should show caution here, but these are also situations where people lose marks on progress, so be sure not to drive too slowly.
Take the next turning to the right again.
Through all these roads, maintain a good road position, which means keeping the car relatively straight and avoid weaving in and out between obstructions.
Take the next turning to the right. T-junction turning right.
Approaching this T-junction, once again I can see a busy road, so I'll roll into first gear and I already know I'll most likely have to stop.
Now I want you to take the second exit off the roundabout, just straight through.
When taking the second exit, I approach in the left lane. When safe, move onto the roundabout, keeping my position to the left, and exit indicating left while checking into my left and then in my right mirror to make sure there are no cars coming in from the right lane.
But I'd like you to pull in just past the next junction on the left for your reverse, please.
Avoid indicating too early, or it may be perceived that you want to take a left turn, and you can lose marks for a misleading signal.
Now I'd like you to reverse back around that corner for me and don't stop till I tell you. Okay.
Before reversing, look everywhere. What's important here is reverse around the corner, keeping relatively close to the curb, while keeping a good eye on what's around you. I always advise stopping halfway in order to observe everything around you. This also allows you to get your bearings. Failing to stop for oncoming cars can result in failing the test.
That'll do me fine there, thank you. I would like you to demonstrate your hand signals to me now, please. Give me a hand signal for turning right to other traffic. Turning left to other traffic. Slowing down or stopping to other traffic. That's good. Now left to the pointsman for me. And straight on to the pointsman. That's fine. Now when you're ready you can move off and turn left.
After the reverse, because you are parked, make sure you signal right to move off and check your blind spot. Move off and then signal left.
Now I'd like you to take the second exit off the next roundabout, which is right.
Approaching mini roundabouts, remember they follow the same rules as normal roundabouts, which simply means yielding to traffic coming from the right.
I'd now like you to take the next turning to the right.
Slow down in good time for ramps, showing the tester that you're reacting in good time and that you don't have to brake too hard on approach.
I'd like to take the next left turn. And take the next right turning.
Even in these estate roads, I'm always pushing towards the 45-kilometre mark, whilst obviously slowing down for any hazards that may be approaching. With parked cars approaching, move out gradually, and with no oncoming cars, maintain your position.
Now at the roundabout I would like to take the first exit off the roundabout, which is left.
With this roundabout, once again not entirely happy with my view of the road, I'm going to roll into first gear. Keep reading the road well in advance, and where two cars are blocking two-way traffic, react in good time.
Take the second exit, which is straight through.
Again, approaching the mini roundabout, look right and glance left before proceeding through the roundabout.
Now at the T-junction, I'd like you to turn right.
Approaching the T-junction, moving into position and ensuring I come to a complete stop at the stop sign. For these ramps, because I can see they're not too high, while slowing down slightly, I'm still keeping the car in third gear. Keep observing the whole road, anticipating hazards and reacting to them as they arise. This should always be done as uneventfully as possible. Basically, if you have anticipated in good time, you should never have to brake too heavily.
At the traffic lights, I'd like you to turn right.
At the red light, once again pull up the handbrake and go into neutral. When ready to proceed, be sure to glance in both directions, even though the junction is guarded with traffic lights. People often lose marks in this situation by presuming the traffic lights means they don't have to look. Approaching the brow of a hill, or any situation where your view is obstructed, just make sure the tester is aware that you're approaching with caution. This is generally done by dropping a gear from 4th to 3rd. Reacting this way really shows to the tester that you're reading the road well. After moving into the right lane, I see I have a full green and a filter light, showing me I have full right of way. Once again, while approaching the junction, have a scan of the junction before entering.
Now at the next junction, turning left for me, please.
When turning left where there's a cycle track, it's extremely important to keep a good eye on your left mirror before you cut through the cycle track, watching for any cyclists.
Now at the next junction, I want you to turn right for me, please. Next turning to the right.
As with all right turns, before making the turn, make sure you look into the junction. This is essential in order to show good observation and anticipation of any obstructions on the new road. On this road, I'm keeping left where possible, whilst reacting in good time to all obstructions ahead. The less steering the better, so make all your movements gradual. Approaching the roundabout going straight, once again look right and glance left. No indicators are required going straight on a mini roundabout.
Now at the T-junction, I want you to turn right for me. Now Gavin, I would like you to pull in on the left anywhere that's safe and convenient for me, please. Okay Gavin, now if you'd like to follow me back into the test centre please, and I'll give you the results of the test.
Okay.